The first smartphone with an in-display selfie camera is available now. Skype has made itself nice and pretty for the holidays. Edge will now prevent you from making a catastrophic mistake. And Microsoft puts out a Windows 10 update that does more harm than good. What's up, everybody? This is Dave LeClair with Make Use of Tech Bytes. We're going to jump in and look at the biggest news stories from the last few days from the world of technology. So without further ado, let's do it. So kicking things off with today's stories, we have the ZTE Axon 20 5G smartphone has officially been released. And now, this is just a mid-range smartphone, so why are we bothering to talk about it? Well, it's actually the first smartphone to come to market with an under-display selfie camera, which means there's no notch, there's no hole punch, there's no cutout, there's nothing. It is built right into the screen. Now, it's not as perfect as it might sound. If you look closely, you can actually see where the pixels are slightly different near the top of the screen, and that is actually where the light is able to pass through, allowing the under-display selfie camera to work. Additionally, early reports indicate that there's a sort of film over your selfies, in spite of it being a very high-resolution 32 megapixel camera underneath that screen. So you're not gonna quite get the same selfie results that you would get from a traditional selfie camera, but don't let that hold you back, because this is a pretty cool phone. The phone comes with a full HD OLED display with a 90 Hz refresh rate, which is pretty decent. It also comes with a Snapdragon 765G processor under the hood, which is pretty standard for your mid-range phone. It's not going to knock your socks off with performance, but it's pretty decent. Additionally, there's 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of internal storage, and there's a pretty solid quad camera setup on the back of the phone. So the phone is available right now in Europe, Asia, and the UK. Unfortunately, the phone is not available in North America, and there's no announcement regarding whether or not the phone will come to that region eventually, so we'll have to wait and see, but I wouldn't get your hopes up if you're located in the US or Canada or anywhere else in North America, because you probably won't be able to get this phone anytime soon. And in a perfectly timed update, Microsoft is bringing an update to Skype just in time for the holidays. So if you and your friends and loved ones want to get together remotely, these new Skype features are going to make that a little bit more pleasant. The main thing this update brings is a new mode called Together Mode and another mode called Large Grid Mode. With Together Mode, you can put all your callers in a single themed room. This is a feature that's similar to what's in Microsoft Teams, but now it makes the jump to Skype. So rather than the grid view that everybody's used to, Together Mode kind of tweaks things, makes it look a little bit nicer, and it actually uses AI technology to segment your face and shoulders, which puts everybody into a nice, clean, new environment. So you can use them to make a goofy little background where you have yourself in the North Pole, for example. Another cool mode coming to Skype is called Large Grid Mode, which, as it sounds, is a large grid, which means you can fit more people on the screen. So if you're having a huge Skype party to get together for Christmas Eve or Hanukkah or the New Year's or whatever else you feel like getting together for, you can use Large Grid Mode to fit lots and lots of people on the screen, and therefore your party can be just as huge as it would be if it was in real life. I'd like to paint a quick picture for you. Imagine you have tons of tabs open, you're working hard, switching from tab to tab, getting everything done, being a productivity powerhouse, and then you click the X in the top right of the screen and all of your hard work is gone, all of your tabs have closed, and you are now sad. Unfortunately, that could actually happen with Microsoft Edge, but not anymore, because Microsoft is actually putting out an update for Edge that will warn you before you close all tabs. This seems like a no-brainer, like something that should have been included with the browser a long time ago, but alas, it wasn't, and now it is. So if you find yourself with a lot of tabs open and you might accidentally close all of them, this update is for you. If you want to get this feature now, you'll have to use Microsoft Edge Canary, which is the version of the browser that's updated daily. Though we assume that it will make its way to the normal version of the browser at some point in the near future, because it is kind of a basic feature that just about every other browser has, and it's one that Edge really needs to prevent people from making a really, really big error. And rounding out today's stories, Microsoft released an update that might actually do more harm than good to your computer. So basically, a recent Windows 10 update introduced a bug into the check disk utility that can cause your system to crash. Microsoft is yet to respond to the issue, but a lot of users are reporting it, so we're confident that this is a fairly widespread issue and one that you should definitely keep an eye on. Basically, when you run the repair function with check disk, you could get a blue screen error on your computer, and you'll ultimately see the stop code NTFS file system, which means there's obviously an error with the file system on your computer. Basically, what we would say to do is avoid using this utility until Microsoft issues a patch fixing it, or at least issues a statement on how you can use it without causing the crash to happen. We will keep you updated on what happens with this, and if Microsoft issues any kind of update that will allow you to use the utility again, but for the time being, just play it safe. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Make Use of Tech Bytes. This has been Dave LeClair. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you found it useful, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes of Tech Bytes and all the other good stuff we do here on Make Use of's YouTube channel. And we will see you guys in the next episode.